Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to go to the big game this weekend, Rob. It's the Sunday night game. Everybody's talking about it. There's some revisionist history out there, some true history out there. Everybody's got an opinion on Tom Brady's return to New England. And Brady spoke about it today. Let me set the tone. It'll be his first game ever against the Patriots. First time back in Gillette Stadium since he left there. Patriots obviously 1-2 and struggling. Tampa Bay 2-1, coming off a Super Bowl win.
Struggling.
He's demolished Belichick so far in the divorce, if you will. And here's what he said about returning to New England.
I'm not going to necessarily reminisce. I don't think this is the moment for that. And I'll have plenty of opportunities to reminisce about my football career, none of which I really care to do right now because I'm so much in the moment. I'm not going to be thinking about 20 years of history. I'm going to be thinking about one night of football, a Sunday night game coming off a really tough loss.
Well, I look, that's the mentality you want, Rob, right? I mean, if I'm stepping into a situation like that, I'm not there to reminisce and to think about all the great moments. Rob, I do believe he wants to bury the New England Patriots. And mainly because it's his old team, mainly because he feels somewhat slighted, at least by the way it ended. You know, Belichick wanted Garoppolo, and they did offer him a contract extension, so it may not be quite as that Belichick kicked him out of the door. But I think he wants to go there and put it on them. And on top of that, Rob, he's coming off a loss. I don't know that he might have had designs on trying to, make up for that 2007 year.
I thought they were going undefeated, the Tampa Bay Bucks. No?
I think he had designs on it.
Okay.
I think that was his goal. 07, it didn't work out where they would have been known as the best team ever. They lost in the Super Bowl, as we were talking to Eli Manning and the Giants. So that dream is out the window. So I do think he's going to Gillette ticked off, and I think he's going to put it on them. I think it's 350 yards or more, if not in the fours, and 4 passing touchdowns. So I think it's going to be a big game for Tom Brady. I think he's going to take over that stadium, and it's going to be a nightmare for Belichick and the Patriots.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think, that's what it looks like. I would expect, if I was putting shekels down, I would expect them to beat the Patriots. I don't think they're that good.
Well, they definitely going to win, yeah.
They got a rookie quarterback. Well, you always say that, but definitely. It's not always automatic. You know that. Tom Brady could get knocked out in the first quarter and they could lose. But I know what you're saying. On paper, they should win the game, and they should win it easily. I don't think the Patriots are that good, and I think, ups and downs with a rookie quarterback. And, yes, coming off a loss, it's not exactly what they want. If they were to lose that game to New England, it would be something. That Tampa Bay would be 2-2 and back-to-back losses and losing to a team, like the Pats. I would look at that, and maybe it was the emotion of it. We had Ephraim Salam on, who said that there's no way Brady's going to be able to knock out and block out 20 years of his life in New England and not have some sort of emotions because he's human. So he expects there to be something. He brought up the Peyton Manning when he went back to Indianapolis, and he didn't play well, and they lost.
And his team lost. I think that was in the midst of him having a great year. Was that his
great year?
Yeah,
he was having a great year, and he lost. So it can happen. I don't expect it to. I expect him to win, but I don't think it matters whether he wins or loses, or whether if he drubs them, he sends a message or tells people, or if somehow the Pats win, that doesn't diminish anything that Tom Brady either has done or did with Tampa last year. They didn't get the best of him. He's not there anymore. They got their team. They're moving forward. It would just be a big win for the Patriots from the standpoint of beating a good team, right? Evening their record, and it would be a tip of the cap for their quarterback beating Tom Brady in a big matchup on Sunday Night Football.
I do agree with that. I think in the big picture, if whoever wins, and like you said, Tampa Bay should win.
Right, they should.
But it's not going to be if Belichick and the Patriots win. It's great. They're 2-2.
It's a big win for them.
It's a big win over a good team. It would probably do wonders for Mac Jones' psyche.
Because didn't they win their opener, right? They lost the opener.
But they'd be 2-2. They're 1-2 right now.
Right, 1-2.
So it'd be a big win in that regard. It wouldn't mean Belichick got the best of Brady at all.
Right.
Yeah, one game, fine. Brady won the Super Bowl last year. All right, so until Belichick wins the Super Bowl, Brady's going to be coming out ahead. That's all there is to it. So I agree with you on that, Rob. And if Brady wins, I do look. He's already won the divorce, at least to this point. We'll see what happens in the future, but he certainly won it to this point. And yes, if he goes in there and he's tremendous, and they walk all over the Patriots, people will be talking about it, and it'll look bad for Belichick and all that. But at the end of the day, it doesn't change anything because, like I said, he's out. Brady's coming out ahead right now. It just win or lose Sunday, he's coming out ahead. But I do think that he wants to put it on them because you're a competitor. Wouldn't you, Rob? Wouldn't you want to go back? I tell you what, if I was going back to a situation like that, I would want to just destroy them and play my best football. Wouldn't you?
Of course. I think that's just human nature. It would be like going back or even when you leave a job or a situation and then people see you doing well elsewhere. You know what I mean? Like there's a little bit of that like, yeah, you see what I'm doing now? You know what I'm saying?
Right. You thought I was washed.
You thought I was washed. You thought I was the wash king or the wash reporter. No, I was acid washed. You just didn't know it. Like acid wash jeans.
Yeah, so I do think that I think it's going to be a rough week for New England. I don't think Belichick likes, answering all these questions, having all this thrown in his face. And I think Sunday, I don't think Monday can come fast enough for the New England Patriots. But we'll see. Like you said, stranger things have happened.
Yeah, I mean, we just gave you the example, and obviously it's just one example of Peyton Manning. But you just don't know, Chris. The first ball could tip off some receiver's hands. The Patriots running back. I remember when the Patriots went in to play the Lions. You remember this a couple of years ago, and I picked the Lions to beat the Patriots, and people were like, "What? The Patriots were playing great." And I was like, the Lions are desperate. Like, they can't go 0-3. Like, this is – and that was the reason, and Chris, it was no other reason. And for whatever reason, Tom Brady had a bad game. And the Lions beat them on a nationally televised game, and people were stunned by it. It happens sometimes. You think the team that has no shot can win. The Lions almost beat Baltimore coming off to Kansas City, right? Win. You would have thought Baltimore was sky high.
Right.
A comeback victory and giving – Patrick Mahomes' his first September loss ever?
Well, that's where I think, like, and obviously Brady's not overlooking New England for any circumstances, but coming off this loss, I don't think that bodes well for the Patriots. I think had they won against the Rams, he wouldn't have been overlooking them, but maybe some of his teammates, Rob, would have thought, Patriots,
right. We just beat the Rams. We're going to roll over the Patriots. Over the Pats.
Rob G., you had a question?
Yeah, I got a question for both of you guys. Now, seeing as, Tom Brady rose to prominence in New England, was very successful there. You could say the same thing about both Chris and Rob. You guys both rose to prominence and became famous in the sports media space at ESPN. If you found out that we had an affiliate, we'll say in LA, it's not true, we have an affiliate in LA with no local programming, it's just national Fox Sports Radio versus national ESPN Radio, would it matter to you that much that you guys would have to beat them because it was your former employer?
I want to win.
Well, I know you want to win, period, but would it
No, but I want to
beat,
yes, I want to beat. I want to beat ESPN Radio if we could. If we're going up against them, absolutely.
I want to beat them. I think this is different than sports. It wouldn't be I don't think I'd have the same feeling as if I was an athlete. Or even when I was an athlete in college or high school or something like that. But yeah, I'd want to beat them. But I don't think I'd be as obsessed about it as when I was if I was an athlete.
I wouldn't be able to sleep the night before. I'd be tossing and turning.
Before
That'd
the
be
ratings
every
came
night,
out,
though.
you'd be all
That'd be
anxious.
every night.
That's right. Before the ratings, I would be like, did we win? What kind of number? Did we beat them by double digits?
Don't tell me the local affiliates. I just want the national. Just give me the national numbers.
That's what I want.
Right. All right. Good question, though, Rob G. We
And
got
you know what?
trolling and rolling in a few.
If this was 2 years ago, Chris, Rob G might have been producing that show. You never know. You know what I'm saying? If we didn't talk about
Oh, then
it.
you got definitely be losing. Then you definitely be losing.
Listen to him with his husky self.